Alright, grab your mochas, grab your cappuccinos, grab your lattes, whatever the hell you're drinking. Grab it, settle on in, and enjoy the show. This is The Coffee Shop. I am your host, Jobbers and Goons. Check out my main channel if you haven't already. I'd love that. And today we're doing a special video. We're diving into a verse never before seen on this channel. This is Toriko. Alright, if you guys are a Toriko fan, run the likes up. 100 likes, and I'll drop another Toriko-based video. Okay? So you do that, I got your back. Simple as that. So, bars, by the way. Yeah, this is going to be a how strong is Toriko, how capable he is. I'm going to go over his hacks, abilities, and all that. And you guys let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the character. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy. This is how strong is Toriko. We're going to get into his scaling. And without further ado, let's begin. So, for those that don't know, Toriko is the main character in a story based on essentially food. There's gourmet cells and power throughout the world in food, right? You eat food, you gain power from it. Toriko is one of the greatest hunters to ever exist. He hunts to eat and consume, and this allows him to gain power, feed his power, as well as unlock the usage of his gourmet demons, which we'll talk about later because they're OP as fuck. But anyways, even in Chapter 1, he is capable of slicing through glass with simply a fingertip, and can start fires by literally simply snapping his fingers. He's just like, even off rip, it's kind of crazy how fast his scaling grows, but it does make sense because of how much he has to eat. But yeah, it's crazy how rapid his progression is, but even still, his baseline was like horrifying, even for like street tiers. His sense of smell in base at the start was like way superior to even police dogs. He can easily balance himself on a 20-ton boat that is shaking violently. Like, it's absolutely no problem for him to just neg that, which is crazy. He then was pretty easily able to swap hands with a Galala crocodile, which weighed well over 80,000 pounds. And he even tossed it aside casually like it was a toy. It was actually honestly a goon moment. If we get a Toriko goon series, he was getting ragdolled, the crocodile was, by Toriko, which was hilarious. No shotguns or tanks, for like scaling reference, could bring this crocodile down. Yet Toriko's hands pierced it and easily decapitated it. Clearly, even then, early on, his hands are like massively beyond conventional weapons and piercing ability. We then see one of his abilities, which is knocking. Now, knocking is very important because it basically bypasses durability. This attack, when he uses it, directly attacks the nervous system or of whatever he is targeting at the time. He also can use the nail punch in combat. This put, early on, a 35-foot crater into a wall on initial impact, and the barrage was able to just absolutely go through this wall. Now, the reason the wall situation is so impressive for Toriko is because that wall can casually hold back creatures that make rocket launchers and conventional weapons look like fodder, right? And he just completely blew through it. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, yes, he gets insanely OP, but I want to give you like a comprehensive look at Toriko and how he scales. Next, his sense of smell actually develops quite well, to the point that he can actually use his sense of smell to determine like the power level and capabilities of his enemies ahead. He will actually be able to tell like who's coming for him and how to stop it. He has poison and venom immunity as well, which I'm going to discuss a little more in depth later. In terms of speed scaling at this point, he's also given like blatant, outright stated millisecond combat speed pretty casually. And he literally engaged while like smirking. He wasn't even really trying at that point. He trained so well. He could carry bubbles without popping them in combat. And the funny thing about him is he has this honor about him where he doesn't have killing intent, right? It's more eating intent. That is, if he sees something worth eating that'll boost his power, all that, he's gonna kill it. He's gonna eat it. Besides that, he don't beef with anybody, right? He's just trying to consume the best things in the verse. His presence, literally just him showing up, he has presence hacks, was able to pacify a capture level 9 beast, which are massively above the creatures shown before, and can like openly dodge lightning. He also, like I said, with the poison toxins and venom immunity, it gets intricate enough that it's later revealed he's immune to over 70 kinds of these toxins, poisons, and venoms, making it very hard to take him down through that method. He also has shown he has a mastery of all the senses when it comes to attuning them to combat. He doesn't even need his vision to combat, as he said, yo, I've mastered everything else, I don't actually need to see you to fight you, which is very impressive. His nail gun is further developed as well to bypass durability, which is, you know, very intimidating because a lot of his attacks at this point are just like starting to just bypass defenses anyway. He also has photographic reflexes and high-level stealth hacks, and by just looking at someone use an ability, Toriko demonstrated that he could do the same thing as well, literally copying their ability just upon observing it. He has an advanced healing factor, and just by eating, Toriko can actually heal horrible wounds, like it's no problem, which is pretty crazy. Imagine just grabbing a snack and you're healed. Like that's a pretty crazy concept. In terms of power, he developed to the point that his the air when he punches is so powerful. The shockwaves produced can blast through solid stone. He also tanked his neck being broken and healed immediately. This was due to his gourmet cells, and the fact that like he can develop gourmet demons as well in mastery. And he fought on with now increased strength. He showed high-level regen and then the Cougar Punch. Toriko has a hole blasted through his chest at one point, right? He gets into the brawl and gets completely blasted through the chest. And after eating the meat of the mammoth, he is completely healed and amped even far beyond he ever was before. His Cougar Punch has a long-lasting effect and is basically a way better version of the Nail Punch. He also shows the evolution of his knife and fork striking technique. This is where he can directly not only bypass durability, but he's attacking your life force itself, just directly going for the spirit and life force, which is crazy. Leg forks and knives is actually a way scarier technique. The reason for this is because whenever Toriko incorporates techniques using his legs, they hit roughly 3 to 4 times stronger than his other attacks due to the power in his legs. Now, another thing we gotta understand about Toriko too, he has insane precog, hacks, and absolutely no hesitation. Basically like Ultra Instinct. He's gonna see all attacks coming and be able to, with no hesitation, basically instantly start to counter, which makes him incredibly dangerous. He also showed insane durability, and I kind of gotta explain why. When he resisted the planet's GBE, the planet in Toriko is fucking massive. We see like a 5 light-year sized explosion go off near the planet, and it was not even nearly the size of the planet. It wasn't even like big enough to encompass even half the surface. Like, it was not that big compared to the planet, which is fucking crazy. Like, that's how big it contains black hole whales, which are literally living black holes. Like, it's a fucking powerful ass massive planet, capable of housing infinite degrees. The sky has immeasurable or unquantifiable amounts of ingredients. Like, infinite statements. You could argue solar system to universal, right? Like, massive. The planet's fucking huge, right? One of the biggest planets of fiction. He resisted the GBE of the planet. That's just fucking nuts. He also has the double Kugi. He demonstrated this technique on an endless stream. Now, given the planet and how, like I said, the planet itself can be scaled to even universal, maybe even bigger, infinite, universal. It's at that point, and there's stuff on there that like can slow time and has time hacks like part of the planet. I don't know. The planet gets crazy. You guys might need a separate video on the planet entirely. But anyways, scaling above that GBE is just fucking nuts. And going through an endless stream would be insane as well. It would make sense that there'd be an endless stream on a planet like this. We know he has super advanced precog that develops even further, making his combative precog much more formidable than even before when it already was really good. He demonstrates right away he has instant cellular regeneration, further healing hacks that is much more potent than what he had before. He was able to shower the entire planet in food, like was able to toss it and all that shit. That's insane because I just told you the size of the planet. So even 30% of that, if it's infinite in size for like 3-4D, you kind of get how crazy his strength would be even if it's 30%, because technically it's infinite in the degree of time and space. Now, if you haven't hit the like button, you should hit it at this point, because obviously Toriko is dope and the scaling is amazing. We then see insane scaling for his sense of smell. This was wild. So his sense of smell and his ability to detect becomes so potent that him smelling can actually traverse time itself. Think about that. A measurable sense of smell. That's how broken Toriko is. It's ridiculous. He also demonstrates at this point he's so powerful using gourmet cells, mastering gourmet demons, that he passively has presence and reality warping hacks. Like he says at this point, if you're not like a god tier character, he doesn't even have to fight you. He just has presence and reality warping. Like you'll get boloed. He demonstrates at this point he also has complete cellular manipulation and control hacks. Given the extent of how detailed Toriko's verse is with like gourmet cells and stuff, this obviously it would make sense he gets this detailed. And we see later, as Toriko goes through many trials, including Gourmet World, that it's revealed his appetite at his peak is like God itself, which is absolutely insane, as God could casually like ragdoll the planet and stuff. And his last and strongest gourmet demon was able to poke and kill Acacia for good, which is insane when you think about how high Acacia scales. His power is so extreme that he's considered the universe itself. Considering a fucking planet is considered like infinite, has cases of infinite shit on it, the sky's immeasurable. It's like incalculable the size of just the planet is. You can argue it like infinite 3-4D. Imagine the universe size. At least multiversal, right? Like, if you talk about the scale in comparison, it's going to be fucking massive. And beings like Acacia can even transcend death, right? Like, death becomes, as a concept, like irrelevant to them. They're beyond that. He's worshipped as a god himself. These characters can be argued above the universe or multiverse, depending on the size of how you want to say it, and even above concepts themselves. And Toriko can produce gourmet demons and control them, and has the power to kill beings of this nature, which is insane. Putting the potential power of Toriko high into multiversal, and if you want to talk about the conceptual shit, you can get into hyper or outer, well beyond dimensions and stuff, considering death would be beyond all things in existence. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the power of Toriko. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to check out my main channel, the Jobbers and Goons, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. Anyways, it's been your host for today's coffee shop, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.